And just having a look at it there, Matthew Russ wearing an arm guard. I don't know if he's still feeling some pain in his injured hand or wrist area that he experienced during the season. Beaconsfield yet to make their way onto the ground. Bryce, you've got another text message.
Yeah, here's a fun fact for you, not through the text message. The red M&Ms are the most rarest. Did you know that?
No, I don't. And
now a text message coming through.
So it was a text.
No, that wasn't the text. This is the text. The text coming
another
through.
Text.
When you do the phone number, read it more slowly. I don't know if they're talking about you or me, but we'll just go with you. So the phone number for everyone that's wanting to send us in a text, we'll just get ready to say it in a couple of seconds. The number
0429 466 373.
0429 466
373.
373.
What was that?
It's the last time I'm doing it.
37.
It's dropped a degree. It's down to 14 degrees here.
No.
But Goosey's just made his way out onto the ground. Clint will be out there as well. Boys, Jared and Trent, and also Bailey, your final thoughts on this big round 17 clash between the Eagles?
You can go, Miles.
He wasn't ready for it at all.
I know, that's why I put him in.
No, it's all right. It's I think he's just getting a bit mad because I'm in my prime, and he's
Oh, hello.
he's just finishing up his master's career.
Jeez, you just had one little chip at a bloke and suddenly carries it, doesn't he?
I'm going home. I can't work with this hostility.
I thrive in it.
Hey, I haven't even got stuck into you yet, Trent. You just wait.
So there you go, Bailey.
Anyway.
Well summed up.
So
No. I think Cranbourne will get up by a convincing margin today. Without the ball, Beaconsfield just looked less
Convincing
threatening.
margin.
Yeah, I think they'll be up by about 5 goals.
Convincing.
No, I'd say 20 points, Cranbourne.
I'm going to tip 3 points, Cranbourne. I think it's going to be a really, really tight contest. Not a lot of open space. With the Cranbourne's press, you'd think it's going to be a lot of one-on-one football as well, especially around the middle. So I'm going to tip a very, very close one, Cranbourne, just 3 points.
So there's the tips from the experts. I'm tipping a very one-sided contest in favour of Cranbourne today. A fully fit Beaconsfield would get to within about 10 points, and I'd say they're about 7 players away from that. So I'm expecting a pretty one-sided contest here this afternoon. Let's hope not. Let's hope it is a fierce contest, like Trent said, and it's close, and you can enjoy it on 97.7 FM all afternoon through to 5 o'clock. What's that, Kane? Your jokes aren't that funny.
Again.
Did someone send that?
Someone's having a crack at me. It wasn't really trying to be funny today.
He's just going through your texts from
There we
past
go.
days.
He probably is, I don't know. But once again, no name. I'm glad you know who I am, because I don't know who you are. But I appreciate the feedback. It's a wonderful compliment. And keep on battling out there and stop stealing my oxygen. This is KC Radio 97.7 FM. Both teams are getting themselves into position. Well, you want to be tough enough and leave your name off the text message. That's what you're going to cop. I'm in the power here because you're listening to me and I'm not listening to you. So this is KC Radio 97.7
talking about
FM.
in the last 5 minutes.
And just having a look at both teams here, we expect to see Bo Dowler line up against Mark Holtz. That should be an interesting contest. Jaden G's lining up with shots on goal. So we'd expect him to play forward. He is definitely a mobile target inside that forward 50. Scott Meyer, well, he will win, probably will win the League Best and Fairest once again as the Premier Ruckman in the competition. He'll go up against Michael Boland today, you would think, or Troy Thal. Meyer might go forward and add to try and stretch some of the Cranbourne defence. He can play as a midfielder as well, so that's probably going to be one advantage for Beaconsfield to try and exploit here today. Beaconsfield's run and carry can be pretty deadly at times. Jordan Stewart, as we spoke about in the pre-game, has really improved. He might go down and play on a Michael Theodoridis, you might think, and just looking at Cranbourne, we know Mark Holtz and also Michael Theodoridis have been in terrific form. They've combined for 89 goals so far this season, 49 to Holt and 40 to Michael Theodoridis after his 9 goals last week. That's going to be very hard to stop. Ryan Jones uses his pace to his full advantage. He'll be in the forward line causing some problems for that Beaconsfield defence, you would think, and he has been pretty good around goal, kicking 3 goals last week. I also like to see him play up further in the field. The coin toss has been won of I've missed it, but just looking at the experienced campaigner in Daniel Mislicki, Beaconsfield will be kicking towards the netball end. Both teams are going in for their final chats. The advantage for Cranbourne today will be in the depth of their midfield. They've got talented players like Ryan Davey to play on the outside, supporting Max Giron and Matt Fletcher. They've just got too many good players out there in good form at the moment. Curtis Barker looks to be getting himself into some pristine form. Scott Sparks is also a good player, very energetic and can use his pace on the outside. This will test Beaconsfield today. They've had a lot of their premier runners. The Johnston boys out are going to be an awful miss, and also some grunt in that midfield, as we know. Tyson Mitchum and Ben Kerrigan not available for selection today. So I'm thinking Cranbourne will get the win pretty comprehensively here. Both teams are just joining forces, and we wish Paul Rebashini good luck out there as the umpire who joined us. He's a big unit, Paul Rebashini. He's about 6'3" and probably close to 100 kilos. So it's a big size mobile umpire out there. You wouldn't want to crash into him without watching it, that is for sure. So,
no, he'd certainly be able to handle himself if someone was accidentally to run into him, wouldn't he?
Yeah, there'd be no intimidation factors there this afternoon.
What you were saying before too, and Simon Goosey alluded to with talking about how Mark Holt only kicked one last week. So if, as we expect, Bo Dowler lines up on him, you'd think Bo Dowler will be able to match him physically and strength-wise. So that does release the others and release Theodoridis, the Golden Greek, to capitalise on that, as well as all their other small forwards running through there. So yeah, you'd think they might actually have an edge there too.
And the text message came in saying I wasn't funny. His response was to call himself Rupert, and he's saying I'm not funny. So on your froggy, and let's just get on with some football here. Round 17 action of Beaconsfield versus Cranbourne. One of the games of the season. Kane Pollard, Jared Healy, Trent Knight and Bailey Shaw on the boundary. Our Turtlehead social media manager will be pressing the buttons. He's got about 50 in front of him and the pack of M&M's, so he's quite happy. 50 buttons to press.
Oh,
Look
right.
at that, he's got M&M's on the right hand and Maltesers on the left.
And
He's
the
in
Turtlehead
heaven.
in the middle.
And Jokers to the right.
Oh.
So let's
Left.
just have
Cameraman.
Is
Let's-
it left, is it?
Yeah, we're left.
Let's just have a look to see how they
left.
will match up this afternoon. Beaconsfield look to be kicking towards the netball end, so I was right there. Mark Holt, will he be met by Bo Dallas? Scott Pollard's gone down there with Stewart and also Jesse Lincolns. In the middle, we've got Dodsworth on Giron. Swayer, I've been told to pronounce it Swayer. Then I spoke to Damien Swayer about it. He says, call me whatever you like, I don't mind.
Oh, there you go.
So it's Swaja today, because I've got permission from the person himself. And looks like there's going to be an interesting match up there. Mislicki and Curtis Barker. We're under a round 17 action here from Home Park Reserve. Meyer taps the ball down. Barker dives over the top of Mislicki. That could have been a free kick. Wasn't paid. The umpire's going to throw it up. You were pointing down to inside
your
forward
matchup,
50.
Your matchup is happening in the goal square.
I should just be an assistant coach somewhere, really. Meyer taps it down, but it's intercepted there by Cranbourne. Lewin-Muller went back to Fletcher. He receives the 1-2 there, Lewin-Muller. The inside hand pass to Sparks. Some space there for the Eagles to work in. As Sparks goes short towards Thal. He takes the mark in front of Stoko. Plays on inside forward. 50 on the lead is Michael Theodoridis. The ball gets punched away there by Stewart. The ball spills out to Tim Smith going through and applying a strong bump there was the Beaconsfield player coming through in Misso. And that was a strong contact of bodies. The ball's going to be thrown in. Right-hand side point post. Inside Cranbourne's attacking 50. So the ball's thrown in. Oh, it's a spearing worm burner of a throw-in. Gave the Rucks no chance at all. The loose football inside defensive 50 as Dowler finds Stewart. He goes short where Morris has taken the mark in the left-hand back pocket. Pretty ugly display there by that boundary umpire as
Here we go.
Morris brings it back towards broadcast side of the ground, going out towards Dodsworth. Mark Holt takes the front position. Dodsworth uses his body well. Holt plays with the free kick. It wasn't paid and Dodsworth just runs away. So he finds G there on a long lead, marking in front of Morris. Just forward of centre wing. Joyce is going to be the next option here on centre wing. Oh, it's a floater. Allows Osborne into the contest, but he couldn't punch that ball away. Strong mark there by Taylor Joyce. He's been called to play on. Decides to go long. The lead from Roberts was ignored. He's looking for McDermott. Nice punch away there by Glenn Osborne. Loose football going through there. Curtis Barker just gets a head-high close hang-up. And Curtis Barker will take the free kick on centre wing. Hopefully we're still on air. I don't know what you've done. So Curtis Barker on centre wing. He goes short and finds Valla. Valla's played on. He's been run down. Breaks a tackle of G. G should have just buried him. Got the hand pass out there towards Struth. Now it's Valla. He gets a kick inside forward 50. Wormburner makes it hard for Holt. He's got 3 to beat. Knocks the ball into the path of Giron. By hand to Thal. On his right boot, Thal goes looking for Michael Theodoridis, and the Golden Greeks marked it and got ridden into the ground there pretty strongly by Stewart.
No, it wasn't paid a mark.
It wasn't paid a mark. Must have been touched off the boot.
Might have been, yeah. Unless he dropped it as he
that was good
down.
play then by Stewart to really make Theodoridis earn it. I thought that mark should have been paid. Was it touch, Trent?
I'm not sure. Too far away to be able to tell from here.
Dallas tapped it down to Mislick. He gives the don't argue to Dave. He couldn't break the tackle. And we're going to see the ball thrown up once again. So we're 2.5 minutes into this first quarter. No one's yet to score. Thal's gone streaming into the ruck contest there against Meyer, who tried to do it all himself. The ball spills free to Mislick. He was at a high tackle, wasn't paid. Intercepting the hand pass was Fletcher. The kick around the body by Fletcher's gone right across the goal. There has been a free kick paid for a push. That's against Stewart to Michael Theodoridis, the Golden Greek. And he'll line up with his first shot on goal now from only 5 metres out. The distance won't test him. The angle might. And we'll get our first score after 3.5 minutes.
An interesting push because he's rubbing his head. So
was it a push? Or?
Well, that's what it was paid for, a push. But
both players went in front of the football. So the free kick was paid. In comes Michael Theodoridis now from point blank range. He shouldn't miss, and he hasn't. Cranbourne's first goal coming at nearly close to the 4-minute mark of the first quarter here on 97.7 FM. Cranbourne lead 1 straight 6. Beaconsfield yet to score on 97.7 FM.
I just noticed something too when Beaconsfield were trying to bring that ball into their forward line, and this is Cranbourne's advantage. They've got Toy Thale sitting up there at centre half forward, so he's doing all the rucking in their forward line and allowed Boland to sit back in the hole here, just as Beaconsfield were trying to bring it up, and Taylor Joyce had no one to kick to and eventually had to kick it long. And it's the same, and it kicked it straight to Boland.
The dynamics of working in a team of volunteers, I love it. Bryce has left his post and he's lost his foot. We're 1 goal straight 6 here. Cranbourne leading Beaconsfield yet to score. It seems like the temperature has really dropped here at Home Park Reserve. It's actually a little bit cold. We were enjoying spring-like conditions earlier. We might have to go and move into the social club soon. We're just waiting for this game to resume.
We've gone 4.5 minutes into the first quarter. That ball from Theodoridis has been lost. This is the reserve ball we're using now.
So that's in the scrub, do you think? Might go and try and get it out. There. But Mislicky tries to break the tackle of Giron. Does it now. The umpire is saying play on. He's been penalised for holding the football. Just couldn't quite get his hands free to get rid of the football there, Mislicky. Giron takes the free kick quickly. Finds Valla, hand pass at the shoelaces of Sparks, makes it hard. The no-look hand pass by Sparks to Fletcher. Giron was waiting to receive, and he goes short by foot where Myers taking the mark and plays on. The big man runs away. A long penetrating kick inside forward 50, hoping to find, bad bounce there for Russ, allows McGowan into the contest. He picks up the football. No, it's actually Doverston, I should say, inside forward 50. Definitely a different look to the Beaconsfield side today. And that ball's going to be thrown in just inside forward 50. Beaconsfield kicking towards the netball end here. The breeze has picked up slightly. I'll get Bailey's thoughts on that soon. As Doverston was actually Joyce in the ruck, taps it down. Sharking it nicely was Giron. He has Driscoll on the break, but Driscoll drops the mark. Morris is in there doing well not to give away the free kick. Here comes the support from Glenn Osborne. He gets the kick away to a vacant centre wing. We're going to see a foot race. Coming up to meet the football first is Theodoridis. The Greek couldn't get his hand pass away. He's got 3 Beaconsfield players to beat. If they think their way through it here, they can. Dodsworth does well. Gets a short pass there, looking out there for Joyce. He got the ball punched away by Glenn Osborne, who sweeps the hand pass out now to Giron at centre half back. Giron goes short, looking to try and find Valla, using his body there against Roberts. Punched the ball away towards Meyer. Gives it, don't argue. Back by hand towards Dodsworth. There's a player on in the pocket. It's going to be Mislicky. The kick doesn't quite get there. Bouncing football out of bounds. 6 minutes of play. It's 1 straight 6 Cranbourne. Beaconsfield yet to score. They've got no direction going forward early. We've got Taylor Joyce playing a long way from home with Doverston now inside the goal square as Beaconsfield's only option there against Russ. So Boland taps it down. There's an awful echo or something happening in my ear at the moment. I don't know where the roving mic is, but it sounds like it's in a toilet. And the ball's going to be ball gets thrown in straight into a pack of players, and we're going to see it thrown up now. So Boland taps the ball down. The numbers there with Cranbourne, if they can try and release it. They couldn't do so. Nice pressure there by Dodsworth to get that ball over the boundary line. We aren't calling from a toilet. We are calling from the top of the balcony here at Home Park Reserve on 97.7 FM Saturday afternoon footy. So loose football now out of that contest. The quick hand pass there from Dodsworth made it hard for Misso, but Morris does well. Stood in the tackle and get his kick away. Loose football now. Coming up there was Doverston. He couldn't collect it. Stuart Morris taps it back towards Driscoll. It goes back by hand to Russ. Russ goes short. Vella on the lead takes a nice mark in front of Roberts. So Vella's been used as the outside player today. He goes short to Russ. The captain does well to take the mark. So as I said, sporting that arm brace after an injury at Cranbourne.
I think it was when these sides played.
It was, possibly. He did break his arm, and he goes out looking for Holt. He's got 3 to beat. Coming through and breaking the pack there was Dowler. That ball gets punched away from Holt and over the boundary line. Morris comes on. He'll be going to G. And we're going to see that ball thrown in right on centre wing in between the two coaches' boxes. It's not Bailey, it's the effects mic that's causing problems at the moment. Boland taps it down. Lewin Miller gets the hand pass back to Sparks. Looking to go backwards. He kicks it out there for Russ, who can play on. Gets the hand pass there nicely towards that player in Struth. Coming through there was Glenn Osborne. Penetrating, kicked inside forward 50. Dropping the mark on the outer side there was the Cranbourne player in Davey. Big pack of players around the football now. The umpire will have to go in and throw it up. We've gone nearly 10 minutes of play, boys. What are your thoughts on this game?
It's a bit scrappy at the moment. Cranbourne seem to be using the ball more effectively, but they're breaking down a bit across the half-forward line at the moment, and Beaconsfield just can't get it past their half-forward line.
Well, they're appealing for a free kick. It wasn't paid. It comes out to Bailey Morris, one way then the other. A long raking kick to centre half forward. Dodsworth once again showing his aerial skills against Struth. Takes a nice mark, plays on, quickly goes towards Joyce. He had a gap there on Osborne. That was Brandon, has taken a nice mark. Doverston leads back towards the pocket. That's ignored, so he's gone short to his captain, where Mislicky's taken the mark in front of Bertrand. Reels around, long penetrating kick in the best position. Up goes Doverston. Can the mark be paid? No. Was built at the last chance. Ross is in there, applies a strong tackle.
It's well battled though after he couldn't take the mark.
It was. Yeah, he did very well to hold that ball in play. So inside the goal square, Beaconsfield looking for their first score. They trail by 6 points. Up goes Boland, taps it down towards Nick Morris. Gets a bad bounce close to the boundary line, and out it goes.
Might have been looking for a behind there, Boland, in the ruck contest, but no, it's just dribbled out of bounds in the end.
It has. To the right-hand side point post, throw in. 3 players up for Beaconsfield. Tap down towards Boland. Hand pass out there towards Curtis Barker, who couldn't trap the ball. And Moore's in there for Beaconsfield. Does well. Gets his hurried kick away. Bouncing football for Dodsworth. Back by hand to a Moore. Off the one-step. Kick around the body. Doverson will need to be strong there against Russ. Tries to trap the ball in, but the boundary line beats both players. And we're going to see it thrown in. Yes, we're commentating, boys. We've been doing it for 3 years. Nothing new here. Move along. The ball's thrown in. Joyce taps it down towards McDermott. By hand to Mislicki. Breaks one tackle. Inside hand pass there to G. Out to Swaja. Now McDermott. McDermott from 45 metres around the kick around the body. Troy McDermott's kicked his first. He's kicked a goal in his last 12 games, and he kicked the first one here this afternoon. Great finishing work by McDermott. It's taken us nearly 11 minutes before Beaconsfield's got their first goal. From 45 metres out, he's always deadly. Nice finishing work there by Troy McDermott. The scores are tied. 1 straight goal apiece. We have gone 11 minutes of play here on 97.7 FM.
And the usual story, he kicks the goal, nice goal around his body, and straight off the ground to have a rest and have a drink. So, that's good. Beaconsfield needed that. They've been working hard and tirelessly, and they had to capitalise.
So Boland taps it down and then does his clearing work. A long penetrating kick. Misso's there, but gets a bad bounce. Loose football now. Vella goes through. Pollard will collect it. In 2 minds, goes by hand towards Misso, close to the boundary line, keeps it in. Bouncing football there for McGowan. Was he held on to? No free kick was paid. Now the Packs just jumped on top, including Lewin Mueller and also Bertrand. And the ball's going to be thrown up on centre wing. How do you do? I'm well, thank you, says McGowan.
That space.
We'll like a dance later. Ground. Yes, we will. Lewin Mueller just enjoying it. So Boland taps it down. Slap forward there by Vella. Jones gets pushed out of the contest by Lincolns. Meyer does well. To a Morg. Received the hand pass but couldn't break the tackle. And the ball's going to be thrown up still. Just forward of centre wing. Cranbourne kicking towards the Township end here. Loose football out of the contest. Boland goes in, wrapped up in a strong tackle, brought to ground, but Gearin did well. Got the hand pass towards Fletcher. His kick was nearly smothered by McGowan. Loose football there for Roberts. He couldn't collect it. He gets pushed over the boundary line.
He just pushed into the
Roberts has just grabbed Lewinmiller and slung him towards the boundary line. That's very undisciplined football. Lewinmiller will take the free kick inside forward 50. At the back of the pack, Theodoritis. Stewart does well, holds his position. Theodoritis goes in, gets the hand pass, ground ball out there towards Valla, who goes back to Lewinmiller. Lewinmiller from 30 metres out. He was tackled as he's kicked there by Roberts, couldn't make the distance. And Beaconsfield happy to retreat that one through for a behind. So they go. Cranbourne go to 1-1-7, leading Beaconsfield 1 straight. 12 and a half minutes of play here. Saturday afternoon football on 97.7 FM. Beaconsfield bring the ball in. It's going to be turned over straight away. Taking the mark on the outer side is Driscoll. He goes short and finds Gearin. Or is that Timmy Smith? No, it's Gearin who's taken the mark. He goes quickly inside forward 50. There was no defensive pressure at all there adopted by Beaconsfield. Olsen just walked into that contest as Curtis Barker's taken the mark. Now Barker will line up from 30 metres out directly in front. That was a terrible bit of play by Beaconsfield.
Well, it was since the kick out. It went straight to a Cranbourne player and then two short passes, spearing passes to Cranbourne forwards on their own.
I like the look. Have a look at Cranbourne's forward defence now as well. Even though he's got a shot on goal, their set up for the rebound is set up perfectly as well as he slotted it through for a goal.
Great work there by Curtis Barker. He hasn't missed from only 30 metres out. That's his first goal of the afternoon. Cranbourne go out to a 7-point lead. Barker has kicked his first. We have now gone close to 14 minutes of play. We'll get some around-the-ground scores shortly from Bryce. But Bailey, has the weather conditions changed at ground level?
Yeah, the breeze has picked up a little bit, blowing across the netball end. So look for Beaconsfield to take advantage, despite what they've put up so far in this first quarter.
Some around-the-ground scores. Doveton playing Berwick. Doveton 2-2-14 to Berwick 2-2-14. And Tumark Reserve Pakenham kicking away early. 2 goals straight 12 to Truett and Delmore just getting a goal then 1-8.
So throw up. Meyer taps the ball down towards Mislicki. He was knocked out of it early by Davey. Strong tackle applied there by McGowan. And
There's
really
just a little bit of niggle in this game at the moment.
Yeah,
isn't
on
there?
Fletcher. Swaja's gone to Fletcher, so there's some interesting one-on-one contest. Meyer in the rucking contest, just punched it as far as he could kick it, but it was intercepted there by Stuart Morris to kick around the body. Fella did well to punch that ball away. Loose football now for Gearin. Close to the boundary line, hand pass it out towards Boland. Breaks the tackle of McDermott there, Boland, and hand pass to Fletcher makes him stand and wait. He's brought to ground by Swire. That's holding the football. Great tackle.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I thought that should have been penalised. I thought Fletcher had enough time there. He couldn't get rid of the football, but benefit of the doubt, it's gone the way of Fletcher, or the player in this time. Meyer just punches the ball as far as he could. McGowan did well. Managed to bounce his way out of the tackle there from Bertrand, but then he was wrapped up by Valla and also Fletcher. Very tight contest early. 15 minutes
really
of play.
At, Meyer for this hit out there.
So Thal uses his body well, taps it down. Mislicki just open hand tap there to Swayer, who goes to McDermott. Long kick. Got 2 to beat there, young Rowe. He couldn't do so. It's going to be turned over again. Oh no, that's a disappointing turnover by Cranbourne. Coming out there was Struth. He's turned it over, and the shot on goal coming from the dashing Modica. He had the distance but not the accuracy, and it was gone through for one behind. Beaky go to 1-1-7. That would have hurt that turnover there, Jared.
Yeah, well, he actually Modica could have had a bounce and kept going in, but that's a bit of inexperience and maybe no one talking to him as well out there.
Bit of perceived pressure as we talk about in local football. As Osborne has gone right across or close to the boundary line. Lucky for Cranbourne, that ball's just bounced up there for Thal. The dinky kick around the body was weighted perfectly for Davey to take the mark. That was a little bit... $1 million.
Really,
nearly went out of bounds for Osborne, and that's a kick up towards centre wing. Holton Dowler does well, brings the football loose back into play, but then it was socket over the line there by Stuart Morris, just forward of centre wing.
It's probably lucky too after Dowler got his hand in there to keep it out of Holt's path. Then it was all Cranbourne, and Holt just kept going to the forward line while Dowler went back to butter up. So they're very lucky it went over the boundary line.
Well, it's going to expose Stewart today because Mark Holt will move up to centre half forward against Dowler, you would think.
Yeah.
And that means Stewart will have to try and curtail the Golden Greek, which is never an easy feat.
No, and that's their options, isn't it, up forward, where Beaconsfield are very short on options at the moment.
They are. The throw in on centre wing after Ryan Jones couldn't keep the ball in play. Trying to get it out there was Cranbourne, but it's been turned over on the half-back line there by Roberts, running away for the Eagles. He kicks it into space. Doverson will have 2 to beat. He couldn't trap the football there. It spills loose for Cranbourne. Driscoll gets pushed out of it. Doverson's second effort was good. Tapped the ball towards McDermott. Coming through there was Misso. Gets the hand pass there towards the Beaconsfield player in Rowe. He kicks Rose, I should say. Kicks it inside forward. 50. Mislicki has 2 to beat. He does well to captain. Gearan taps it back towards Russ. Tries to break a tackle, then throws the ball out. No free kick was paid. Driscoll gets a hand pass out towards Glenn Osborne, who goes to Struth. Cranbourne will clear it for a short pass to Morris at full stretch. Couldn't claim the mark. Lewin-Muller was there. Does well. Dance along the boundary line. The inboard pass finds Gearan. Then it's stagnant. No one's moving. There's nowhere to go for Cranbourne, so he goes right across the ground towards Ryan Jones, who doesn't stay stagnant for long. Gets around Monaco, slips over at the crucial time. His hand pass to Brandon Osborne. In 2 minds, so he takes a bounce. He can take a third bounce. There's no pressure on the ball carrier here for Cranbourne. They got the ball towards centre wing. The hand pass from Smith, who goes to Davey, now to Osborne, who's gone all the way to 50. His kick was smothered there well by Stoko. The ball spills free now for Beaconsfield. Amora under some pressure, just slaps the ball forward, bouncing it up there towards Joyce, coming through Meyer with some dash. He runs away, the big man. He kicks it inside forward. 50-yard Joyce will take the mark as Morris has slipped over at just that crucial time when he was looking for body contact against his opponent. Slips over. Joyce takes the mark, and Taylor Joyce now will be lining up for a shot on goal from only 15 metres out. He won't miss this. He's kicked some big bags already this season. Taylor Joyce has 37 for Beaconsfield, and he'll line up now from only 10 metres out on a slight angle to reduce the margin back to level. They're trailing by 6 points. 18 minutes into the first quarter here on 97.7 FM. In comes Joyce. Oh, he's going to make the goal umpire work. He's happy. The home crowd are cheering. It is a goal. So Joyce kicks his first. That's Beaky's second. We're back to level. 2-1-13 apiece. We have gone now 16 minutes of play, Jared.
Yeah, and I think you can attribute that to Young and Moore off the half-back line. Sometimes you've just got to get it onto your boot, regardless of not trying finesse. He picked the ball up cleanly, put it on his boot, got it into the middle, into a contest, a one-on-one contest, and then Scotty Meyer was able to rove the ball and get a nice kick away. So sometimes players this modern era love the handball, but it is called football for a reason. You've just got to get it on your boot.
A text coming in, sounding good, boys, listening in from Sydney from Jan. Jan also says, go Eagles. What Eagles are you going for, Jan?
50-50.
Yeah, well, that's the best way to go at this stage. As Meyer just slaps it forward, but it's been turned over once again. As Thale gets the ricochet inside forward 50. The marking option there was Daniel Baker. The ball travels him and has gone out of bounds. No, still inside play. Nice work there by Tim Smith. About to be brought down.
Nice
a strong tackle applied there. That has to be holding the football by Stewart. He's turned defence into attack there. Stewart backed himself in to apply the tackle on Smith, and he's get rewarded. He kicks the ball out towards centre wing. Doverston was there, couldn't claim the mark. It spills out to Modica, close to the boundary line, kicks it long, looking for McDermott. He gets the ball punched away there by Glenn Osborne.
There's a lot of 2-on-1s. Centre wing. Sorry, mate. There's a lot of 2-on-1s out here, isn't it? 2 Cranbourne to 1 Beaky.
Yep. Cranbourne are using their defensive pressure well against Beaconsfield at the moment as Meyer taps it down. Fletcher gets worried out of it there by Olsen. His hand pass was ineffective. Pack forms once again. Trent, how are you seeing this first 20 minutes of play?
Well, it was certainly very tightly fought in and around the ball, as I mentioned pre-game, which is good to see because it means we can expect a low-scoring game, and that'll keep the contest tight, which is good.
Swayer kicks it inside forward 50. Oh, Joyce too strong there against Brandon Osborne. That was a nice contested mark in that one-on-one contest. And he goes back with a bit of a strut after taking that mark. Osborne, regarded as one of the premier defenders in the competition. He'll probably have one of the spots in the team of the year, you would think. So it's going to be a tough task for Joyce, but he's kicked one. He's looking for goal number 2. It's been a bit of a lacklustre start. We're 21 minutes into the game and we've had 6 scoring shots.
It is, but yeah, it has been tight, as Trent was saying. There's been a lot of contests, and that was the 4th mark of that type that Joyce has taken today already. So he's
careful approach, well. And here comes Joyce. That looks better off the boot, and that one's gone through. Beaconsfield have the lead here. Back-to-back goals for Taylor Joyce, and it is Beaconsfield leading 3-1-19 to Cranbourne, stuck on their score of 2-1-13. We're 21 minutes of play, and it's Beaconsfield leading by 6 points.
Again, I'll go that started from the back line of Beaconsfield. Stewart's prepared to leave his man and go and apply that great tackle, force the turnover, and they brought it down.
We'd like to get Bailey to go down and ask Daniel Batterglen when we could expect him to return. It would be crippling if he was out for the rest of the season. They've been not providing a lot of information on the Batterglen injury. Back with the play. Meyer goes higher than Boland, taps it downward. G was there. Gets the hand pass to McDermott. His quick kick forward. Falling over was Doverson.
Ooh.
The conditions aren't wet here for our listeners back at home. It's the players are slipping over. They might need a change of boots. That kick forward was actually coming from Lincoln's. They get it to centre half forward. Meyer taps it down straight to Dodsworth. The ball spills free. Fletcher applies a strong tackle there on Swager. He just grabbed onto his hand. He wouldn't let it go. And the umpire's going to throw it up once again at centre half forward. Beaconsfield lead by 6 points. Meyer gets the tap down there towards G. Olsen goes in. Was he tackled? There was no free kick paid. So Jaden G just slaps the ball forward. Oh, Joyce crashes the pack. He couldn't take the mark. There's loose football now. Joyce tries to soccer it. Russ was sliding on top of the football.
It doesn't get paid often, but when it's there, it's there.
The kicking in danger rule's been paid there to Russ, who kicks it out there towards Bertrand. You can use Morrish. It's actually Glenn Osborne trying to break away. He's a little bit slower this year, Glenn Osborne, than we've seen in previous. His tackle there by Doverston affected the kick, but it's loose on centre wing. Stuart Morrish going back there. He's got G to beat. It's actually McGowan. Strong tackle applied there by Modica on the outer side. The umpire's going to have to throw it in.
It looks as if Beaconsfield actually have lifted their pressure in these last 5 minutes and really taking it up now.
Well, they realise they're in this contest, up to their ears, and they need to be strong here if they can take this quarter-time lead, as Davey just taps the ball out. And the kick coming there by Morris all the way up towards centre wing, where Dowler and Holt go at it. Coming through there, Tim Smith, he gets tackled at it. No free kick was paid. Misso does well. Finds Meyer by hand now to Swayer, who runs through centre half forward. The long kick inside forward, 50. Joyce does well. Was he held onto? No free kick was paid. Vella doesn't want the football as Jones goes in. Taps it back there towards Russell. He wasn't expecting it that time, Vella. He's been disappointing 2 times in a row there. That quick hand pass coming out by Russ just hit him in the shins. And the ball's going to be thrown up. There's 6 or 7 players around this football. Cranbourne as Boland taps it down towards Fowler. Oh, his hand pass back didn't have any penetration on it at all. Going through there was Brandon Osborne. He's wrapped up in a strong tackle. The umpire says play on. So Morris tries to kick it away, but his kick was smothered there by Doverston. Bertrand. Hand pass there towards Ryan Jones. He's usually good in these conditions. He socks it to himself. He's got to run away from Misso. Gets the hand pass there towards Gearan. He's wrapped up by Morris, who just gets his kick away though, Gearan. And the first mark taken there by Mark Holt. He's 70 metres around from goal, so he swings it inside forward. 50 with Theodoritis and Stewart go at it. Stewart goes to the one hand, tries to break the tackle of Pollard there, Theodoritis, but it's going to be turned over. Nice play by Roberts with plenty of run, dashing run. He kicks it from centre half back, but there's 3 Cranbourne players there. And they have a raffle, and Ryan Jones takes the mark and just holds the play up.
It wasn't for the car.
Oh, no raffle tickets yet. $100 tonight for the RAV4 from Berwick Toyota. So Jones goes short to Baker, who just pops it up there. Having to wait was Tim Smith. Punching it away nicely was Bailey Morris. He takes the game on every time he's near it. It's great to see. This time, though, his kick only goes as far as Ryan Jones. He couldn't take the mark. G gets slung to the ground there. No free kick was paid towards Struth. You've got to reward the tackle sometimes. Gearan gets a hand pass to Morris. Kick inside forward 50. They need a mark, and it's been taken. Well, Dalla wasn't to be seen, and Baker there taking the mark in front of Damien Swayer. Curtis Barker's already kicked one. We haven't seen a goal from Cranbourne in 11 minutes of play. They trail by 6 points, and looking at his last attempt on goal, Jared, he should just go back and kick this one through.
He should do it nicely, and the weight of numbers in that contest on centre wing for Cranbourne just allowed him to push that ball forward.
In goes Barker now from only 30 metres out. That's his second goal today. Scores are back to tie, 3-1-19 apiece. Barker has 2, and we have now gone 25 minutes of play, Trent.
Yeah, certainly very exciting so far, isn't it? Kane mentioned a bit of a blowout in the pre-game as his tip, but I think if we can expect to see this type of contest around the ball all day, it's going to make for a very interesting game. But we can't write Cranbourne out of it. They've currently drawn the scoreboard back to level at 19 points apiece, but their second half is really going to tell the story in this game, and I think it's going to be one to watch.
They're waiting for that ball again. It looks like it's gone into the reeds again.
Cranbourne have kicked 109 goals to 49 in the second half.
That's the big thing. It's their second half, and we've seen a few telltale signs of what's going on before they got that goal. Their weight of numbers here on centre wing. I think at one stage it was G against 3. And the Cranbourne guys are just prepared to help each other out in numbers, and that's going to be a big telling factor, especially in that second half. One thing I have noticed with the Bo Dowler and Mark Holt contest, Bo Dowler looks like he's quite prepared to run off him if he can get a chance to, but Holt also pushes back the other way, so for the turnover. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out as the game goes.
Joyce looks like he has the early upper hand against Brandon Osborne inside the forward line for Beaconsfield. So up they go. Meyer taps it down. Barker was worried out of it. Bailey Morris goes through, taps it up and socking it out of the ground. There was a more inside forward 50. Truth does well, but his hand pass was ineffective. It's falls short to McGowan. The kick around the body by McGowan. Up goes Joyce. He can't take the mark. Osborne does well in the one-on-one contest, and he'll use the point line there to retreat. Beaky take the point and take the lead. 3-2-20. The Eagles, leading the Eagles 3-1-19. We've gone nearly 28 minutes of play here in the first quarter. Russ will kick the ball in. It goes to the broadcast side where Boland will need to take the mark, and he does so well in front of Jaden G. So inside defensive 50, broadcast side of the ground. Boland goes short on the lead. There was Vella, traps it nicely, gets a hand pass back towards Morris, but Stuart Merrick's son was right on the money there at the boundary, and the ball's going to be thrown in. He does a good job, this boundary umpire. He knows his limitations and plays to his strength. That's all you want from a boundary umpire. As the ball's thrown in, Meyer couldn't collect it. Gearan gets a hand pass to Vella. He looks up and just sees Bailey Morris, so he tries to hand pass it there towards Curtis Barker,
who's just been falconed.
Who's just volleyed it straight into young Amore's face. Adam Amore, he's just received it. He's spent some time at the barber's shop, so he might have to spend some time working on his nose. But at quarter time, it is 1 point the margin in favour of Beaconsfield. They lead 3-2-20 to Cranbourne at 3-1-19. Round 17 action here on KC Radio. Saturday afternoon football live from Home Park Reserve. We'll get Jared and Trent's thoughts on that first quarter shortly. Bailey's gone out there towards, looks like Simon Goosey for the quarter time address. At quarter time, Curtis Barker has 2. Theodoritis has 1 for Cranbourne, and for Beaconsfield, Taylor Joyce has 2. Troy McDermott has 1, and we'll get Bryce to update us with all the around the ground scores shortly during this quarter time break. Jared and Trent, your thoughts on the first quarter and some of your better players, please.
Look, I think Cranbourne are clearly winning the ball a lot more. They're able to use it a bit more efficiently, but their defence has struggled a little bit down back, especially closer to the goals, which have allowed Beaconsfield to capitalise on that a little bit more with only one scoring shot more, and that's all it takes in a game of football to be able to get over the line in the end. But I think Cranbourne is still probably the favourites to win this game. They're able to run and carry the ball a little bit more, whereas Beaconsfield are going to have to look like they're rushing the kicks away a little bit. So I think so far Cranbourne are winning the game in terms of ball use and out on the ground, but on the scoreboard they're going to have to make a little bit more of an impact this quarter to stay within a goal or 2 range at half-time.
Yeah, I think Beaconsfield have realised they haven't got the talent out there on the park to finesse the ball, so if there's any chance they're getting there, putting it on their boot and kicking it long and looking for that contest. And once the contest is out, if they don't take the mark, they'll stop it and go again. Cranbourne running in numbers, running to help each other all the time. Every time they've got a clear break, there's always been 3 or 4 of them there to work the ball up beautifully into their forward line, and they're getting that clean disposal, and their forwards are getting a clean disposal. I
was really impressed with Tom Doverston in that first quarter. He didn't get a lot of possessions, but I thought his bullocking work and ability to hold the ball inside forward 50 is going to be important. They need to hold the ball in there as much as they can, and they need to restrict, obviously, Cranbourne's fluent movement going into the forward line. The huddle's about to happen, Bryce. We might get your scores after that. Anything else you'd like to say before we cross down to...
if Bailey's ready to go, or just like Scotty Meyer, he'll change his ruck work all the time. Sometimes he'll tap, then suddenly he'll start punching, and I think he's got a good working relationship with his midfielders to do that.
Big crowd in attendance now as well, having a look out on the ground and underneath the pavilion here. So, no, I don't think there's a problem in local footy, Kane.
Really?
3 each.
That huddle is very short. This is a family-friendly announcement. Simon Goosey will be addressing his charges. Trailing by 1 point, we do try and provide a family-friendly environment, so any swearing we do apologise in advance. We'll cross down to Simon Goosey's quarter-time address.
Right, so, even there, 8-6 our way around the ground, but at times there, got down here. 5 on the dice. There was a lot of times we didn't have the coverage here at the back, so it's not where we start, it's where we finish. So let's make sure we got that coverage. Inside 50s, we've only had 6 to their 4. A couple of times where we came down here where we just mucked around with the handball. I looked down at the forwards, we're going, you know, the one where we come and we overdid the handball. 1, 2, the forwards had went, just get it long in where we won out. Don't allow them to have those drop-off plays at the back, because at the end of the day, the more we muck around with it, those blokes dropped off because we had the blokes hitting up and the forwards in are outnumbered. So let's get it in quick and give them an opportunity, all right. 9-5 their way, all right, so they're just sitting above 50%, we're way above 50%, but just a couple of times our ball use, boys, coming through. You know, I said to you, Daniel, mate, no, we don't kick over the bloke on the mark, we always kick on the 45. You know, we do it at training every night. Get off the mark and kick there, you've done really good getting it there, and mate, and keeping your feet, you know, tripping over your size 9s, mate. Keep your feet, all right? It's pretty easy. All right, hey, first press, really good. We got a goal out of it, all right? That's where we got to back our press. Get up there, discipline must, you know, they started a little bit, and you too. We stay disciplined. You got the free kick there, all right? You take it, because where it hurts anyone, mate, is on the scoreboard. So you draw it, all right? Spoke about the opportunities. When we got the opportunities, let's get it in quick. So let's tidy up a couple of areas. Just on in the stoppages, let's get on the move and let's watch him. Half backs, don't allow their half forwards to run in, because we know Myers is going bang. Bang, all right? So even if you might come in from a different angle, I know it's hard with the pitch where you've got to really run on the pitch, but if you come off to the side and maybe get over the line and then hit back, so he doesn't get that real thump on it. So have a try, mix it up a bit so it's not comfortable. Hey, because boys, the main thing is he's not doing much around the ground, but if we start looking at his hand, right, and then you give us more around the ground. Let's get those kick-outs, boys. Let's get a couple of huddles, right, where we just get the numbers, just create the numbers, saturate. Forwards, let's stay right back. Like, there's probably a little bit of wind heading down that way, all right? Even quarter. We knew it was going to be an even game, all right? We've both got a lot to play for. Here we go, boys. All we've got to do is fix up a couple of little things. Do the little things well, and the rest will take care of itself. Here we go,
So that was the quarter-time address there by Simon Goosey. Just fix up little things, and we're back on track. It's a confident position to be in when you're just talking about little things at this stage of the season.
Having a look at some around the ground scores now. Doveton 3-3-21 to Berwick, 3-5-23. Hampton Park, a 1-goal 1-7 to Narry Warren, 4-9-33. In Pakenham, 3-3-21 to Tooradin, 2-14. In the AFL, the Crows lead by 30 points against the Bombers. 29-minute mark of the second term, and the Saints by 9 in the 13-minute mark of the second term. A text message also coming through from the doc, listening in, saying that he knew the guy who was tipping Hampton Park was the bloke on the gate wearing the moccasins at 11:30 this afternoon, or this morning. So good on you, Doc. I don't know what that means.
No, good work, Doc.
That wasn't actually what the text message said. Bryce is just
manipulating it.
Trying to change it into something that doesn't make sense. Anyway.
And try and put someone else in.
What can we expect in this second quarter, boys?
I think more of what we saw in the first quarter, actually. Cranbourne are going to be running in numbers. I think Beaky's better players are going to be the ones who make the difference in the clean handballs and the clean takeaways. Simon Goosey, we heard, told his on-ballers to watch Scotty Meyer, watch what he does in the ruck, if he's going to tap it or he's going to punch it, watch his hand, you know what you're doing, and the half-back flankers to be ready for, because he's going to punch and they can come in and get it. It was good to hear him about kicking when you've got a mark. They go on 45-degree angles, not over the mark.
We'll get Bailey's thoughts shortly. As the second quarter's underway here on 97.7 FM, Saturday afternoon football, round 17 between Beaconsfield and Cranbourne. It's Beaconsfield leading 3-2-20, Cranbourne 3-1-19. Up we go. There's a punch from Meyer towards Swayer, but coming up there with G. Goes back by hand towards Morris. He's wrapped up in a strong tackle. Gets a hand pass away to Dodsworth, who finds Meyer. Usually penetrating by foot. He goes long inside forward. 50. Joyce has the front position. The ball gets punched away. It gets left behind, though, by Glenn Osborne. Coming out, Brandon Osborne. Is that holding the football? It wasn't paid. Loose football inside forward. 50. G dives on top of it. Going there, Joyce. He gets upended. Hand pass it out there towards Moore. He stands up in a tackle. The ball spills out to Ryan Davey. Pretty scrappy passage of play. He retreats by hand there towards Russ, who gets upended as he's kicked it close to the boundary line there. Sparks just manages to keep that ball in play. Surprised it wasn't downfield. I thought Russ got hit pretty heavily after he disposed of the football. Wasn't it paid? So throw in. Meyer there taps it down. Oh, he's rucking up position was Boland, who's doing the roving. He finds Davey. He spots up Thal, who leads nicely in front of Brown. Thal now sees the option inboard. That's ignored. He'll go long. Doesn't get the purchase on it he wants. It's going to be a loose football now for Jones. Oh, he's running quick but runs past the football. Lincolns gets a hand pass out there towards Misso, who's donning a porn star style little gypsy. It's actually Burton Cello there with that little mustache. The ball's on centre wing. Nice hand pass there by Bertrand. Finds Gearin, who just tracks the kick back a little bit. It's been turned over. Burton Cello finds Miss Licky, who was getting shepherded there by the umpire. Meyer does well to Burton Cello. Out towards Modica. This will bring the house down. Modica gets a bad bounce. Has to stand. Wait. Goes back by hand there towards Pollard, who tries to point the captain, who gives a don't argue towards Ryan Davey. And Miss Licky will receive the free kick. No, he's been penalised for a high fend-off. Davey will take the free kick. He'll bring it out broadcast side of the ground, looking for Jones. Has the foot speed there against Lincolns. He couldn't trap it, just sockets it into space. Roberts is there for Beaconsfield. Gives a don't argue. Usually good by foot. This time he tries to just cut the kick, and he shanked it. Taking the mark there is Driscoll. I'll get to you shortly, Jared, as Driscoll finds Mark Holt, who's taken the mark. He sees Vella on in the pocket. The kick just waits. Vella has to be strong. Couldn't take the mark there. He's wrapped up in a strong tackle by Dodsworth. Great work by the Beaconsfield defence not to concede. First by Roberts, at ground level by Dodsworth. Vella was on. The kick was difficult there by Mark Holt. And the ball's been thrown up quickly. Brown doing the ruck work, taps it down. Dowler keeps his feet, tries to find a teammate by hand. It's been cut off there by Theodoritis. Uses his body there against Burton Cello. Mislicky goes in, finds Stewart, usually has some dash, breaks one tackle. That's good play by Jordan Stewart, taking the game on. He brings it out there towards McDermott. He didn't expect to take the mark. He dropped it. The ball spills out to Glenn Osborne. Entry inside forward 50, where Thal's taking the mark. Has been called to play on, must have been touched. Gets the hand pass to Gearon. Gearon's kick around the body. Max Gearon's kicked it. Well, that was the first response there by Cranbourne. They kicked their fourth goal of the afternoon. They go out to a 5-point lead. Cranbourne 4-1-25, leading Beaconsfield 3-2-20.
Yeah, what I was going to say before, and Scotty Moore, I think, had a word with our friend the umpire. It was the same umpire who also appeared to shepherd Mislicky away from the ball, got himself right in the centre of the corridor where the ball was coming through, and Meyer couldn't get to the other ball and Mislicky couldn't get to it either.
Bailey?
Yeah, the reason I went to Simon Goosey's huddle is that his... sorry, boys, I'm getting a bit of echo in my... Just called the footy.
Stop pressing the echo button, Bailey. Are you with us there
Bryce,
a second time?
you freaking turtle, I hate you so much.
All right, so the ball's thrown up. Bryce just spat Maltesers on him as Meyer taps it down to Mislicky, the kick around the body. McDermott there against Osborne. McDermott can't trap it. He does well. The second effort was good. Wearing him like a glove was Glenn Osborne. The ball spilled to McDermott, who managed to have a shot on goal. He's gone with a little dribble up, and it's gone across the face and through for one behind.
It was actually well done by Moore too to force the Cranbourne guys through with the ball and get it back out to McDermott.
He's just spilled chocolate on the
he's
mixer.
Gone nuts.
You can't have sugar. It's like I'm dealing with a kindergarten here sometimes. Just Cranbourne bring the ball in. The pass there just waits up there for Glenn Osborne, but he takes the mark in front of Modica. I can't say Eagles, and I've got so many different players with the same surname playing here today. As Osborne's kick, though, has been cut off there by Swayer. That was perfectly read. He just threw his body at the football to take the mark. So Swager kicks it inside forward. 50, they need a mark. Joyce has two to beat up. He flies. Third man in the contest. Couldn't bring the ball down. Morris does well. Just kicks it out inside to a vacant centre wing. Pollard with plenty of speed. Picks it up. gives it don't argue, and Osborne falls over as Pollard just kicks it into space. They're running up to meet it. Well, Dodsworth has applied a strong bump there on Osborne. Joyce does well, keeps the ball in play. Hand pass back towards Amore. He goes up to meet the contest. Struth was on the outer side. They go in once again, close to the boundary line there, just forward of centre wing. The ball's going to be thrown up. 4 points the margin in favour of Cranbourne. 4-1-25 to 3-3-21. 5.5 minutes played of the second quarter. You're tuned into KC Radio 97.7 FM as Boland just taps the ball back towards the boundary line there. Dodsworth does well. Gearan's in there. Both Bulldogs going at it. Loose football now. The umpire says play on. There's 6 or 7 players around this football now. The umpire's going to have to go in and throw it up.
It's a long way over there, isn't it?
Ribashini is the umpire there. Throws it up. Meyer taps the ball down. Gearan tries to duck his way through. It's actually Fletcher. Manages to get his kick away, but Pollard was there. Thal has 2 to beat, and he just went for the football more than Pollard. Thal does well. Spins around, kicks it out towards Theodoritis. He's marked it at full stretch. The Golden Greek too far out to score. The inboard option was ignored, so he goes into the pocket where he's going to find Ryan Jones. Bouncing football. Jones couldn't trap it. He's got 3 to beat. Coming through there was Tim Smith, just socketed the ball out, but Pollard was there. He was slow at the contest there, Pollard. Allowed Smith to go in and crash the pack. That was disappointing play. He had a little bit longer than he realised, I think, Pollard. He just picked the ball up and waited for the contact. He could have hand passed it to Olsen or Brown. As Thal taps it down, goes in a second effort. He's wrapped up in a strong tackle there by Brown. Don't point, Trent. You'll get yourself in a lot of trouble. Immature boys.
Just admiring the
yeah,
views
no, you
from the
don't
balcony.
point. You don't point. Tap down by Thal. Hand pass comes out towards Mislicky, about to be run down by Theodoritis. He gets his kick away, bouncing football there for Meyer. One way, then the other. Gives a don't argue to Davey. Uses Burton Challow. Hand passes it inboard towards the Moore. The little fella's got an option on the outer side. It's Morris. He goes that way. The ball's been punched by Martin Luamua, who get the kick forward now. 2-on-1 contest. Jones couldn't trap it. The ball spills to Holt. Comes inside. Holt to kick around the body mark. Holt has kicked a beautiful goal around the corner. 2 unanswered goals to start this second quarter, and they go out to a 10-point lead. Cranbourne 5-1-31, leading Beaconsfield 3-3-21. Beautiful work there by Holt. Finally found himself in space, and the margin's now out to 10 points.
It was a right idea by Amore to chip it out onto the wing to Moish, who was free, but the kick sat up in the air too long. And
it did.
Gave the Cranbourne player time to come through, spoil it, because Moish was just flat-footed.
He was. So, back with the play now. Hopefully we'll get Bailey on shortly as Meyer taps the ball down. They've been dominating the clearances, Beaconsfield, but it's not resulting in goal opportunity. Mislicky did well on his hands and knees, got the hand pass out to Amore. He's wrapped up in a very strong tackle there. Looked like Fletcher getting a bit angry. And the ball's going to be thrown up. Boland and Meyer. Boland flies early, taps it down. There is Luamula for Cranbourne. He gets his kick away out there towards Holt, but using his body nicely was Dowler. Just read the plate, and Dowler's gone right across the face of goal. The man of the Pawn Star name. Jones dropped the mark he really should have taken. Morris wraps it up. Going through there was Lincolns. He has to go in a second time. Lincolns gets his hand pass back to Burton Challow, the man of the Pawn Star mustache, and he couldn't quite get the kick away. The ball's going to be held up and thrown up inside forward 50 for Cranbourne. 10 points the margin in favour of Cranny.
They certainly
I might just go to
bullet
Cranny
there.
and Beaky today,
Yeah,
rather than
Beaky
Eagles.
dodged the bullet there, didn't they?
They did indeed. Jones dropping that crucial mark. Holt taps it down. Curtis Barker, in-ground hand pass to Holt, just breaks a tackle of Amore. Mark Holt, can he make it 2 in a row? He can't. That one goes across the face and through for a behind. Bryce is just repeatedly going towards the Maltesers or the M&M bagged in my right-hand side vision. I just see hands going into packets of chocolates, and his chin's full of it. You can see the leftovers there. If you want a bit of Maltesers, come up and see us. You can lick it off his chin. As Lincolns kicks it into the pocket and finds Dowler.
In the same sentence, Pawn Star name's not good.
No, we won't be saying that. No, we'll leave the Pawn Star out of Bryce's chin at the moment. As Dowler finds Pollard, defensive side of the half-forward line. Pollard will have to go long. No, he goes short. He just shows me up there and finds Meyer. They've got players on this side. They can use Lincoln's. We can bring it out to Morris. You've got nowhere to go further afield. So He played on, had to go back by hand to Bertoncello and say, you try and find somebody. He just kicks it long to centre wing where Cranbourne fly. They bring the ball to ground. They've got all the runners here. Running through was Vella, who's received the hand pass. Kick inside forward 50. Jones has to go over the one hand there against Lincoln's. Lincoln's did well not to give away the free kick. Brown goes in. Got a pack of, or a flock of Eagles tackling him there. He couldn't find anybody. Did well to hold it up. The ball's going to be thrown up. 10 minutes into this quarter, it's Cranbourne leading now by 11 points. Beaky couldn't get the clearance, or Bertoncello was ineffective. The ball spills to Miss Leckie. He's wrapped up in a strong tackle there by Curtis Barker and the like.
I think we just saw what the difference in this game's going to be, didn't we? Once the ball hits the ground, Cranbourne are running.
Well, here's a chance. Fletcher finds Curtis Barker. He could have made it 3. That was a lazy attempt there by Curtis. It's actually gone out of bounds. Didn't actually score.
Jeez.
It's out of bounds on the full, is it?
Must be, yeah.
It hit the point post.
No, I thought it went through for a point, but the umpires are closer, aren't they?
Yeah, they are indeed. They're doing a great job here this afternoon, Bailey.
You don't have to square up yet.
Are you with us, Bailey?
Yeah, I don't know if it's safe to speak anymore, KP, but I was going to say that in Simon Goosey's quarter-time huddle, he was a little bit more calm than I expected. I thought he was going to give his boys a bit of a ribbing, but you see now why he was so content. You can see that Cranbourne have just come out in the second quarter and just kicked away a little bit.
They have, haven't they? They're winning the one-on-one contest at the moment, Cranbourne, and it seems when Cranbourne are going forward, they're doing it a little bit easier than Beaconsfield.
Yeah, just the numbers.
Beaconsfield are working harder for their goals at this stage. 11 minutes into the second quarter, they trail by 11 points. Holt against Brown. Holt goes in a second time. Oh, look at those two go at it. Holt and Swaja. Neither player there would take a backward inch, and the ball's going to be thrown up. Still inside Cranbourne's attacking 50. Sunshine now we see. It's really broken up the overcast conditions here at Home Park Reserve. Barker, hand pass into a dangerous position there for the Beaconsfield defence, but no one could collect it. Miss Leckie picks up the football and half the pack with him. Was that a push in the back?
Oh,
the umpire could have gone either way there. I thought Theodoros rode Daniel Miss Leckie into the ground.
He was coming towards us too. He looked like he caught one high as well.
Yeah, he had about 4 players jump on top, but the umpires paid the free kick. Miss Leckie's disputing it. Theodoros will take the free kick. You'd be a little bit fortunate, the Golden Greek. He was laying eggs out at Robert Booth Reserve last week, kicking 9. In he goes. He stops, he props, he measures his approach. In he comes. Michael Theodoros. He's kicked 1. Can he make it 2? That's a nice finishing work there by the Golden Greek. That's Cranbourne 6. They go to 6-2-38, 17 points the margin, 12 and a half minutes gone to this second quarter.
Yeah, they're the ones that really hurt where, 50-50 decision and then it's a goal, virtually a goal to them, especially when it's given to a dead shot like Theodoros, and suddenly it just deflates them a little bit.
Trent, did Miss Leckie hold on to the ball too long? I thought he picked the ball up, he was tackled and then ridden into the ground. What were your thoughts on that very controversial decision?
I thought it was probably the right call in the end. He seemed to want to take through the tackles a fair bit, and I actually threw the arms out, as they call it, holding the ball. But no, I thought it was a fair call and a great goal to Theodoros in the end. The pressure around the ball carrier is out immense at this stage.
So it's the biggest margin of the afternoon at 17 points. Meyer gets the hand pass to Miss Leckie. His kick, though, was smothered there by Fletcher. Gearan hasn't got up out of that rucking contest. He seems to be in a very bad way behind play. Fletcher's kick inside forward 50 bounces for Holt. He collects it, gets a hand pass to Sparks. He had 3 to beat, and Roberts just tapped it back to Sparks. He goes inboard there to Holt. Oh, courageous there by Brown to smother his kick. Dowler gets a hand pass to Miss Leckie. And he's kicked it off the side of the boot. An uncharacteristic mistake there by Daniel Miss Leckie. He's doing it tough this afternoon. So Driscoll will play on quickly, and he goes...
I think the trainers have called for... Oh no, is it to his feet?
He's up. So Driscoll found Curtis Barker on the point of the half-forward line. Kicked it inside forward 50. Both players nearly ran into each other. The ball spills to Sparks. Sparks runs in and kicks the goal. Bit of ugly football, but it doesn't matter when you get the goal for Cranbourne. That is now 4 unanswered goals in this quarter to Cranbourne, or Cranny, and they now lead by 23 points. Sparks has kicked his first goal of the afternoon. We have played 14 minutes of this second quarter, and Cranbourne lead now by 23 points. 7-2-44 the Eagles, leading the Eagles 3-3-21. This is Sefnor Game of the Day, live on KC Radio. The boys are sending text messages to each other as Meyer taps it down. Guerin's recovered, gets the hand pass there to Stuart Morris, running off the half back line. He couldn't break the tackle of Burton Cello, so he had to kick it.
Good mark.
And it was a nice mark taken there by Driscoll. Watch Valley here, boys. He could run into the pocket. There's no one manning him. Driscoll plays on, runs into the man on the mark. The ball spilt now to Valla, who's coming up to meet it, but Lincolns does well, keeps his head over the football, taps it to Dowler, who was just sitting prey. Holt just ran into him, brought him to ground. The ball spills out now towards Lewin Miller, who's gone back by hand to Davey. Off one step, won't make the distance. Valla has to fly. He couldn't take the mark at ground level. It's been socked off the ground nicely by Ryan Jones. Great finishing work there by Cranbourne. That's 5 goals for the quarter. Oh, we're talking about a one-sided game here. I didn't say it, did I? But it's gone to 8-2-50. Out to a 29-point margin. You've got to get that ball over the goal line. They couldn't do so. Bryce with the round-the-ground scores.
Thanks, Kane. Dufton are playing Berwick. Dufton 5-4-34 to Berwick 4-9-33. And Hampton Park still on the same score, 7 to Narry Warren 33. Pakenham 5-4-34 and Curtin Delmore 6-4-40.
8-2-50 Cranbourne leading Beaconsfield 3-3-21. That is 5 unanswered goals in their second quarter as Cranbourne come once again. Fletcher couldn't break the tackle of Swaja and has been penalised for holding the football. Bryce, did you want to say something then?
Just another text message coming through, Kane asking where the dim is.
The dim sim. So Modica kicks it long inside forward 50. The umpires, I'm hearing whistles in my headset.
Netball.
It wasn't paid. It was netball, was it?
Yeah.
Sorry, it threw me. It usually does. And that's gone through for a point. 3-4-22 Beaconsfield, trailing by 28 points. Trent is with us today. He's looking forward to the South Melbourne Dim Sims, which is 3 Dim Sims in 1. We will post that on our Facebook page as he eats it during halftime. So Russ kicks it in. A huddle's been adopted there by Cranbourne. Boland couldn't take the mark, but just slapped it towards Fletcher. Fell out there towards Swaja. He's been wrapped up in a strong tackle. You're right about those contests, though. It seems like Cranbourne have plenty of numbers around the football. As Boland flies, taps it down, but Doverston was there to do the roving. Was that off the side of the boot?
I thought it was off
Was it touched?
I thought it was touched.
Well, Doverston's not disputing the decision as that ball goes out of bounds. Just no space for them to even kick it at the moment. And the free kick will go the way of Cranbourne. Swaya's still running with Fletcher.
Yeah, I think
Boland and Meyer are going toe-to-toe this afternoon. Jared?
Beaconsfield want to create the contest and have a contested ball and just push it up in numbers, in packs, but Cranbourne are winning the stoppages around the ball too and breaking away, so it's not helping Beaconsfield at all.
A small little hoo-ha there after that contest. Broadcast side of the ground. Young Merrick will throw it in. All eyes on you as he brings it in. Meyer goes with a big punch towards the back of the pack. Standing there was McGowan. He gets the football, McGowan, then he stops and props. You don't have time at senior level to do that. You need to be thinking straight away, when you get it, get rid of it. So the ball's thrown up. Bowl just get jumped into there by Meyer, but Ryan Davey was there to intercept. Kicks the ball forward up towards Holt. He's got 2 to beat. By hand, he finds Lewin Miller under some pressure. Just hand passes it pretty blindly, but loose football there for Daniel Baker. Back by hand towards Lewin Miller. Baker just has to soccer it off the ground. It's loose now inside forward 50 for Cranbourne, but Mislicki was there. Retreating, does well. Gets a kick around the body to Burton Cello. He was one of the better players for Beaconsfield last week. Burton Cello, he goes short towards Brown. At centre half back, Mislicki receives the hand pass. Off one step, puts it out there towards the player in Morris. Morris, is it?
I think it's Morris, yeah.
And Morris now has to go right back to where the kick came from, which is dangerous, but Dowler was safe. Taking a nice mark. The Beaconsfield defenders are the only ones leading. Where are their forwards? Where's the centre half forward? He's at centre half back playing with Holt. So Dowler goes short to Mislicki, who goes short towards the outer side. Now they try and build now, Beaconsfield. That's a long penetrating kick. Using his body early there was Dodsworth. Did he give away the free kick? No, it wasn't paid. So Dodsworth gets the ball inside forward 50, looking for Joyce. Up he goes, couldn't claim the mark. Going through, Rose shows some nice skill around goal. Rose, that was beautiful finishing work by Jake Rose. He hit that pack hard, front and square. What were you oohing? I'm not sure, but that was great work by Rose. That's his first goal of the afternoon. A much needed goal for Beaconsfield.
You might have just got a text from Bryce.
Goes to a 22-point margin. And that was a nice response after 5 unanswered goals. Yeah. It's actually 6 unanswered goals for Cranbourne.
Desperately needed?
It was desperately, momentarily. And it's a 19-minute mark of the second quarter. Rose brings the margin back to 22 points. 4-4-28, Beaconsfield trailing Cranbourne 8-2-50.
At least they put a stop to Cranbourne's run of unanswered goals.
Yeah, Mislicki just got, that was an moment for sure. Mislicki got cleaned up pretty strongly there by Curtis Barker. He's getting a tough afternoon, Daniel Mislicki. We've had some of his charges around the football. He definitely needs some support. Morris was running past, received a hand pass, was ignored.
And you see Boland's gone down right at Beaconsfield centre half forward.
No one epitomises the word courageous like Daniel Mislicki does. As his kick goes to centre half forward, the ball gets punched away there from a fully stretched Dodsworth. But Beaconsfield now through Morris can do well. Inside forward 50. Taylor Joyce was at a chop of the arms that wasn't paid. He hasn't gone out, so he's gone back to Morris. Usually a raking kick. Morris from 45 metres out. It's gone long. They compete on the goal line. It's been socked off the ground there by the Beaconsfield player. It's been called play on. It was Rose who just socketed it out of midair. It's gone right across the face. The mark wasn't paid. And indiscriminate hand pass has gone out of bounds. The left-hand side point post. Jeez. 22 points the margin, Trent.
Wouldn't that have been exciting? On the volley as well. Just no hesitation, just popped it straight onto the boot as well. And, geez, that would have raised the roof, that goal.
So Boland flies early, taps the ball down. Stuart Morris by hand to Curtis Barker, gets himself through traffic and kicks it long. There's only Beaconsfield players there. They've all zoned off, and taking a nice mark was Bailey Morris, who goes right across the ground towards Burton Challow. They're going around the 50-metre arc at the moment to try and find their option. Cranbourne have retreated inside defensive 50. Not a lot of space for Joyce to move in. So Burton Challow tries to pick out Scotty Meyer, but reading it better was Curtis Barker. He put himself in the right position there, Curtis, and he's taken a nice mark. So Curtis will go back out towards the outer side. Dal has been off Holt, but Holt was the marking option, who's done well. Tried to play on there, Holt. Is that a 50-metre penalty? Yes, it is. The Beaconsfield player, I think Burton Challow, went and tried to affect Mark Holt playing on. Is that a 50-metre penalty? I'm not sure, but it has been a big penalty the way of Cranbourne, because no one's manning up Michael Theodoridis, but it doesn't matter because the umpire hasn't called play on. Holt tried to get the ball moving quickly. Sorry, Gerard.
No, that's all right. I'm going to say it's an easy one for the player, especially with Holt's experience, to feign handballing it. The young players come and tap the ball 50 straight away.
Got to wait for the umpire's whistle, that is true. So Sparks leads into the pocket. That lead is ignored. Holt saw Ryan Jones lead by the corner of his eye. It's a loose football inside forward 50. Jones hit it but couldn't collect it. Riding the tackle though was young Misso. He got penalised for a high shot. We didn't get penalised. He received the free kick for a high shot. It was Vella getting penalised for the free kick. So on the last line of defence here for Beaconsfield, another goal here before half-time would be handy as Misso goes long, looking for and trying to find Meyer. He was bumped out of the contest. The ball spills there for Olsen. Does well, Olsen, but his hand pass has been intercepted there by Fletcher. The kick was nicely slotted there by Dodsworth, who's playing one of his better games of the season. And the ball's just gone out right in front of the 97.7 FM broadcast position. Bailey, you with us?
Yeah, and we mentioned how strong Cranbourne are in their second halves, and God knows how strong they're going to be with a 3.5 goal head start, so I'm a little bit worried for Beaconsfield. That's true.
You want to be closer at half-time, you're right. Thal taps it down. Fletcher taps it to Curtis Barker. Got a strong tackle there by Swayer. Wasn't rewarded. Mislicki got the hand pass there towards McGowan. They're really getting stuck into Mislicki at the moment. He's having a tough afternoon. Fletcher was just holding on to him after that play. Good to see Fletcher just worry about playing football. And they're forward of centre wing. Now, the ball's thrown in. That's a decent hoik. As Thal taps it down, Gearin gets a hand pass to Fletcher, breaks the tackle, gets the hand pass towards Bertrand, gets the pace going there, Bertrand, inside hand pass to Gearin. Gearin goes inside forward 50. Stewart in the best position as Theodoridis has slipped over. Must be wet inside that forward 50. Stewart does well. Didn't panic. Got the hand pass to Lincolns. Lincolns brings it out the outer side. Moore's got to beat Lewin-Miller. Went for the body contact, not the football. It's loose now on centre wing. Lewin-Miller runs past the Moore and collects it. The kick around the body, just dribbles it. Nicely weighted for Baker. Bounces up like a peach. Baker not too sure which way to go, so he goes right back where he finds Russ, who takes the mark. Entry inside forward 50, Michael Theda. Readers are courageous by Dodsworth. The ball ricochets out towards Holt. Gets a hand pass to Fletcher. In 2 minds, in 3 minds. Retreats right back by hand towards Russ, who goes into the pocket with his 3 Cranbourne players. Diving or jumping up for the mark there was Baker. Gets brought to ground. Loose football now for the Beaconsfield defenders, who are just standing and watching as a player at ground level dived on top of the football. Yeah. They don't want it at the moment. You've got to get in there and show some endeavour.
They don't seem to be supporting each other. That's the big problem.
Exactly right. As Holt taps the ball down and was socked out of the contest, Roberts has gone high there against Baker. Collected Baker with a knee shot to the head. It was a football contest. There was nothing malice in it, but the free kick's gone the way of Baker.
And that's where that sliding rule. He slid under his leg. So that's that 50-50 one that no one really is sure what's happening. And that's the only reason he effectively drew the contact to his head.
I don't want to say it early. Is this game over?
Well,
is there a sense at this game that Beaky can't win?
I think so, yes.
It just seems like the atmosphere has just gone out of this game all of a sudden. We're at the 25-minute mark of the second quarter. We've seen 5 goals to 1 in favour of Cranbourne as Baker received a free kick from only 40 metres out, goes back and has kicked another goal for Cranbourne. So after a 10-minute lull, they've got their next goal. They go to 9-2-56 on the back of Baker's first. We have gone 26 minutes of play. The margin's back out to 28 points. 9-2-56, Beaconsfield leading Cranny 4-4-28. Bryce with some around the ground scores.
Some very close games in.
Let me get that Malteser out.
Oh, I know. I tell you what, I don't feel too good. Some very close games.
Hang on.
Can you stop?
Get it out.
There's some very close games going on at the moment. Doveton and Berwick are playing. Doveton 5-4-34 to Berwick 4-11-35. And Jim text in. Pakenham 5-4-34 to Tooradin 6-6-42. Good on you, Jim.
So Tooradin's leading as Davey breaks out of the contest. Long kick inside forward 50. Dowler and Holt. Holt goes with the one hand. Burton Cello does well. Coming through there, Tim Smith or Dowler shows some agility sliding into the contest. He couldn't get the ball out past Jones. Burton Cello just got tackled by Ryan Jones, who had just tackled Bo Dowler. That was the ultimate second effort. He tackled Dowler and put his hand up and brought Burton Cello to ground. Well, that's how you show some defensive pressure inside forward 50. Your team's in front by 28 points. Brown taps it down. Dodsworth couldn't collect it, or Jones just brought to ground by Holt. That's one position you wouldn't like to be in. Mark Holt laying on top of you. And the ball's going to be thrown up. Yes, Trent, what do you...
No, I thought Bryce was going to take that one to the next level, Kane. So we needed to put that... to put a stop to that before it happened.
In the broadcast team, Trent. As a Moore's quick kick out towards McGowan, who's got it out to Meyer. Now Taylor Joyce has the football.
This is where they fall down.
On the half-forward line, Joyce goes into the pocket. Rose has 2 to beat. Bouncing football. He tried to do the blind turn before having the football. It's been turned over inside defensive 50, or forward 50 for Beaconsfield, as... Struth has found Troy Thal, who's playing as a mobile centre half forward. Exactly what Beaconsfield need. As Thal goes back inside defensive 50, where Morris has taken the mark. 27 and a half minutes gone of their second term. Yes, Jared?
I'm just wondering if after half time they roll the dice and bring Bo Dowler back up to centre half forward. They need a contest or someone to kick it to up there, because they've got nothing at the moment.
And here come Cranbourne once again. They bring it around the circle out towards the half forward line, where Struth does well. The hard ground ball there for Jones. He's got Lincoln's to beat. Lincoln's usually pretty strong in the contest, does well. He doesn't get out positioned body-wise too often.
No, I think this quarter they're quite happy to let Joyce go for the marks, because he's missed 6 of them.
Yeah, he has. The ball's thrown in. Thal taps it down to Dodsworth. Oh, that was good play by Dodsworth. Finds his captain, who uses Morris. Shows some run and dash here, young fellow, as he breaks through the centre of Home Park Reserve. He kicks it up to a contest. Joyce against Morris. Both players fall over. Taylor Joyce does well, socking it towards the boundary line. Second effort was good, but Stuart Morris to the contest has been wrapped up though in a strong tackle. The kick coming forward there by Beaconsfield inside forward 50, but repelled there once again by Cranbourne. This time it was Glenn Osborne just kicking it out of defensive 50, and it doesn't matter because that is the half time. That quarter going 28 and a half minutes.
I think they'll be happy to go into half time and restock Beaconsfield, because they'll need to do something drastic.
Talking of 28, well, it's 28 points the margin here at half time. We've been broadcasting. You okay? Too much chocolate, Bryce? Okay. So at halftime, it is Cranbourne 9-2-56 to Beaconsfield 4-4-28. In that quarter, we saw Cranbourne kick 6 goals to 1 to extend it out to a 28-point lead at halftime. We'll go through the goal kickers shortly. We'll get Bailey's thoughts and also Jared and Trent before we take a short halftime break here to get some refreshments and into a second half here. That looks like Beaconsfield are in full control. Max Guerin has broken away from the huddle at halftime and ran straight off the ground. I don't know if he's busting to go to the toilet or there was some lingering effects after that heavy knock he received during that quarter. I guess you wouldn't be running off if you're injured, Jared.
No, certainly not. So he just might need to get in there to take a break, so
Bryce will update us with some around the ground scores shortly. Oh, not now.
Not
all right. You said
not
shortly.
That shortly.
Yeah.
Just in the AFL, the Crows are leading by 53 points over the Bombers, and I don't think we'll all be tipping a straight set this round. The Saints lead by 20 points at the moment over the Roos.
Well, there we go. The Roos.
Plenty of time left.
No, the Roos are ordinary. They're a bunch of cats. If you're a Kangaroo supporter, you wouldn't be bothering with the rest of the season. I saw you live last week, and Nick Dalsano. Anyway,
we don't want him back.
No, 28 points the margin here. The goal kickers to half time. Curtis Barker has 2, Michael Theodoridis 2 for Cranbourne. Singles to Giron, Holt, Sparks, Jones and Daniel Baker. And for Beaconsfield, 2 goals to Taylor Joyce, 1 to McDermott and Rose. So the halftime score here is Beaconsfield 9-2-56 leading. Cranbourne 9-2-56 leading Beaconsfield 4-4-28.
Yeah, one thing I did notice about, and I think Clint Evans will be very disappointed, every time Beaconsfield tried to make space, a player was on his own, ready to receive the kick, and another one of their players led into that space, bringing a Cranbourne player up, so suddenly it closed that space down. It happened once in front of us, and then also to Scotty Meyer. Suddenly the Beaconsfield awareness of their own players isn't there, and that might be due to all these other guys coming in, so they're getting used to playing with each other all the time. So you'd be disappointed in that. Cranbourne, I think they're in a nice position at the moment. As I said, they're the best second half side in the competition, they have been all year, and they're going in with a 28-point lead, doing it comfortably. They're supporting each other, running with each other. Every time they break, they're going, and so I think they're set up nicely. And it could be, as you said, Kane, could be a whitewash today. Looks of it. With again, I think Clint Evans has got to do something, whether it's take Bodella, sacrifice that, let Holt have the run, because they're not going to win leaving Bodella down there. They need someone to kick to at centre half forward. They've got nothing. Taylor Joyce has had to come up the ground. He's getting manhandled a bit more now. They've closed down on him, and so they need that extra tall up there.
Trent, your thoughts on that first half?
Look, I agree with Jared. I think that the tall across centre half forward, between centre half forward and the goals is the critical point for the Beaconsfield Eagles so far. They just haven't been able to hit a strong, solid targets as consistently today, and that's going to be a tell in the second half, whether or not they're able to use Meyer as a rotating ruck forward, whether or not they can capitalise using him, or, as Jared said, send Dowler down there to hopefully be able to make some sort of impact on the scoreboard. But look, they say you can't build a team around one man, but don't they miss the ball across half back? Just his stability and his control and his drive across the centre half back line is it leaves a very, very big hole in their team setup. So that.
Well, in this game in particular, sorry mate, is Bataglin's the one they're missing. He's the one who play on Holt all the time, and so suddenly they haven't got him, and that's taken Bodella out of the game. Forget about all their runners and that they're getting. It's the height they're going to get smacked with today. They've got Thale and Boland running around, back line, the four line, they're doing the ruck. Mark Holt's doing the ruck down here. Beaconsfield have only got Scotty Meyer, so he's sort of going everywhere. He can't sacrifice that. So it's the height factor is what's really going to tell in the end of this game.
Bailey?
Yeah, Percy, in the middle of the second quarter you asked, is the game dead? And it may very well be if Cranbourne are able to keep up their notorious second half ability. But I mean, if Beaconsfield want to have any chance, they've got to come out and kick the first couple of goals and really try to stamp their authority on this game.
So Kane Pollard, Jared Healy, Trent Knight and also Bailey Shaw, with Bryce providing some around the ground scores. We'll take a very short break here for half time, get some refreshments
from somewhere.
Get some refreshments and
some Canadian.
Yeah, we'll have a short break here, back in about 10 minutes time. It is 25 minutes to 4. We'll be back here at about 1:45. Make sure you stay firmly planted to 97.7 FM.